I'm sitting in front of the Frauenkirche, which is, they're very good at keeping people out. Now they're telling me that they don't let anyone in until 1 o'clock. They're very careful of their church. Look at that gold angel. And here we are. This looks like it might have been the facade that was rescued. This here is certainly a facade. Dem Vaterland zu sehr und er. That would be an odd thing to reproduce, but you never know. And here are a whole lot of new buildings that are made to look old. And that is a whole lane of buildings, and it includes Hilton. Maybe all of those, maybe the whole block is. This apparently is actually part of the church that was left after the British and the American bombers, after their 5 sorties had managed to destroy everything they could see and everything they couldn't see. Over 2 days. What were they thinking? I understand that the whole bombing raid was made at the bequest of the Russians, because the Russians love to destroy things, and the Soviets. I mean, they even shot dead their own emperor. So I suppose it shouldn't surprise anyone that they didn't think much of the Germans. And of course, there was a whole history of Germany and Russia, although of course the French probably did more damage. They certainly did in the Napoleonic Wars. But in the Second World War, Nazis just lined up Jews in ravines and shot them dead. And not just Jews, anyone they felt like was a threat to Nazis. I don't know what percentage of the people the Nazis murdered were Jews. Maybe it's like 20%, maybe even less. Because there weren't so many Jews, but there were a hell of a lot of other people. Yeah. So, the Russians were all about revenge, and they did not want Dresden to stand. And there's apparently there was a good reason for that, because Dresden was out of the way, far from Berlin, and was thought a safe place to control communications and supply and all sorts of other things. There was actually a strategic reason for bombing Dresden, but the problem was that they didn't just destroy. They destroyed the heart of the city, the old city, and they destroyed the cathedral. But there's a very practical reason for that. They dropped down these incendiary bombs so they could see what they're going to bomb ahead of time, and then they bomb them. And after that, it's all smoke and fire. You can't really see what you're doing. Part of the second sortie ended up bombing Prague because they thought that looked like Dresden because it was on the Elbe. Certainly wasn't very precise. But there was no one to pull them back after the first sortie, after they'd done so much damage. They just kept going. Okay, this is Susanna Dodgson in front of the Frauenkirche, October 29th, 2025.